السلام عليكم. كيف الحال يا طلاب مرحلة ثانية الأعزاء؟ أرجو أن تكونوا بخير وبصحة جيدة وبسلامة دائما. أوكي، أنا آسف الأسبوع الماضي ما قدرت أسجل محاضرة يوم الأربعاء أو الخميس، أيضا لأن كان عندي انقطاع التيار الكهربائي ساعات طويلة، فآسف جدا. فاليوم هذه المحاضرة تعويض عن محاضرة الأسبوع الماضي اللي هي صادفت يعني أربعاء أو خميس ما قدرت أسجل. Okay, now we have, if you remember, the three students. This article, هاي المقالة, this short story, هذه القصة القصيرة, about the three students. Now we read part 1, we reread it and answer the questions. Part 1, as you see now. Part 1. Who copied the exam questions? Sherlock Holmes was staying in one of England's most famous university towns. Okay, one evening he received a visit from an old friend, Mr. Henry Weaver, a tutor at one of the colleges. Okay, he seemed very nervous and excited. بين عليه متوتر. Okay, excited وقلق. I need your help, Holmes. Something very serious happened at my college this afternoon. Holmes was very busy. Why didn't you call the police? He said irritably بانزعاج باستياء ضايج يعني. Okay. No, that's impossible. We can't have a scandal at the college. Scandal يعني فضيحة. Let me explain. You see, tomorrow is the first day of the university examinations, and this afternoon I received the Greek translation papers. I put them on the desk in my room while I went to have tea with a friend. When I returned, I saw immediately that the papers were lying on the floor by the window. كانت ملقاة على الأرض على أرضية الغرفة عند النافذة قرب النافذة. I see, said Holmes. Please continue. Well, at first I thought that perhaps my servant Bannister was responsible, but of course he said no, and I believe him. He and I examined the room very carefully. Okay, he and I examined the room very carefully. And what did you find? Asked Holmes impatiently بنفاد صبر يعني ما عنده صبر ضايج. On the table next to the window we found a broken pencil. Also, on my desk there was a small ball of black mud. Okay, كرة من الطين الأسود. There were no signs of entry at the window. Please help me, Holmes. It's clear that someone copied the exam questions. If I don't find who did it, I will have to cancel the exam and there will be a scandal. يعني فضيحة كلية. I need to visit your room, said Holmes. Okay, now we answer the questions. As you see, we answer the questions. Question number 3. Read part 1 and answer the questions. Who are the people in the picture? They are Mr. Holmes, as you see, Sherlock Holmes. Who else? ومن أيضا? We have Mr. Weaver. Okay, a tutor at the town college, at the town university. Mr. Weaver and Mr. Bannister, the servant, his servant, Mr. Weaver's servant. Now, Where was Sherlock Holmes staying? He was staying in one of England's most famous university towns. Now, what did Mr. Weaver receive that afternoon? What did Mr. Weaver received that afternoon? He received a visit? No. I think هذا السؤال أعتقد به خطأ. يعني لازم what did Mr. Holmes receive that afternoon? He received Mr. Holmes لازم يصير مو Mr. Weaver. Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He received a visit from an old friend, Mr. Weaver. Okay. Now السؤال الثالث الصحيح. 4. What was lying on the floor when he returned to his room after tea? The Greek translation papers, exam papers, okay, were lying on the floor, lying down on the floor. The Greek translation exam papers lying on the floor. Why couldn't Mr. Weaver call the police? Because it would be a scandal for the college if people found out that the Greek translation exam papers were stolen or copied. يعني تسربت الأسئلة تم استنساخها من قبل شخص معين شخص مجهول. Okay. Who is Bannister? He is Mr. Weaver's servant. هو الخادم مالت Mr. Weaver. Mr. Bannister. هذا لابس نظارة يطلع طالع بالصورة. Now what clues did Bannister and Mr. Weaver find? The clues they found were the Greek translation exam papers lying on the floor at the window and a ball of black mud on the floor, again on the floor of the room of Mr. Weaver's room. What do they think happened? Yes, they think that someone has copied or stolen and copied the Greek translation exam papers. Okay, شخص ما سرق واستنسخ مثل ما نقول أوراق امتحان الترجمة الإغريقية مع اللغة اليونانية. شخص ما. Now we read part 2 and answer the questions. Looking for clues. They walked towards the tutor's room, which was on the ground floor. Holmes tried to look in through the window, but he wasn't tall enough. It was a high window. Above lived 3 students, one on each floor. Holmes entered the room and examined the carpet. Nothing, he said. Let me look at the table by the window. What can you see? Ah, yes. It's clear what happened. Someone took the papers one at a time from your desk over to the window table to copy them, because from there he could see when you were returning. أخذن كل ورقة على حدة، كل مرة يأخذ ورقة يستنسخها يكتبها بيده ويرجعها. ليش؟ حتى ينظر من النافذة. شو خاف يرجع مستر ويفر، حتى قبل يرجع هو يطلع من الغرفة يهرب، حتى ليه يشوفه مستر ويفر بغرفته، يشوفه من النافذة. شو وقت يرجع من التي ماكو، من التي انفيتيشن مالته. Okay, now but nobody could see me. I came back through the side door. Ah, so you surprised him and he had to leave hurriedly. انت فاجأت المجهول، الشخص المجهول اللي يستنسخ الأسئلة، فهرب، غادر hurriedly بسرعة مستعجلة، ما كان محبوس، غادر. Did you hear someone running away as you entered? No. Interesting. So we just have one small ball of black mud as a clue. Now tell me, where does that door go to? Where does that door lead to? إلى أين يؤدي هذا الباب أو ذلك الباب؟ إلى أين يؤدي ذلك الباب؟ My bedroom. Can I examine it? Yes, of course. Holmes followed Weaver into his bedroom. Hello, said Holmes. What's this? Another small ball of black mud, exactly like the one on the desk. Clearly your visitor came into the bedroom. I don't understand. Why did he do that? Well, when you came back so suddenly, he ran into your bedroom to hide. Look at the bedroom window. It's open. That's obviously how he escaped. هرب من غرفة نوم from Mr. Weaver's bedroom window. هرب منها السارق أو سارق الأسئلة. Now, question number 4. read part 2. أو قبل ما أقرأ بس أدي تصحيح صغير. السؤال الثالث بالثلاثة، فقرة 3، السؤال الثالث أنا خطأ مني، آسف. What did Mr. Weaver received that afternoon? He received what? The Greek translation exam papers. He received the Greek translation exam papers. Okay? Now, back to item 4. نرجع للفقرة رقم 4. Read part 2. We have already read it. Are these sentences true or false? No. Correct the false ones. Number 1. The tutor's room was on the same floor as the 3 students. True or false? No. It was, the tutor's room was on the ground floor. 2. Holmes couldn't see into the room through the window. No, he could see. Yes, I'm sorry, this is true. He couldn't see into the room through the window. Why? Because he was not tall enough. Mr. Sherlock Holmes was not tall enough. The window was very high. He found a clue on the carpet. Yes, true. The papers were next to the window. No, the papers were on the floor. False. Lying on the floor at the window. بالقرب من النافذة. He found, 5. The intruder saw Mr. Weaver returning. Yes, true. The intruder المتطفل أو الدخيل اللي دخل غرفة المتسلل. Yes. He escaped through the study window. No. Through the bedroom window. مو غرفة المطالعة. الغرفة مال المطالعة مالت Mr. Weaver. No. He escaped through the bedroom window. Mr. Weaver's bedroom window. Now, Holmes found another clue in the bedroom. Yes, he found another black ball of mud. Now, with this item, I have to conclude the lecture, the session. See you later. Okay. أرجو أن تكونوا دائما بخير والسلامة والصحة وعافية أجمعين. Goodbye.